Hi everybody, this is Fidelma from Galway Crafty Bits. I've made these notebook journals. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them. And I'm going to flip through a few of them, maybe 3 or 4. And they're all basically the same. They just have different papers and stuff inside. So I will come back in a few minutes. I'll choose 3 or 4 of them and we'll go through them. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Hi, back again. So these are the 4 that I've chosen, and we'll just go through them. So I'll just take the first one here and I'll put those over there out of the way. So it starts with a little bow, so we'll open the little bow. And these were originally little gift cards. So you know when somebody gives you a gift of money maybe? So it's like this. So then I took that and converted it into a little notebook. So I'll go through it with you. So this one has snow, so you can either, let it snow I should say. You can either use it this way, or most people would use it this way. So I have a little charm on the side of it. So every one of them has a charm, and they're not necessarily all the same, but most of them do have the star charm, because that's what I had the most of. And it's either in the middle or somewhere. You'll see as I go along I have them in different places. So if we open this up, we start off, I have covered the inside of it. This particular one I've covered it with silver tissue paper. Then this is just Christmas paper that I had, and I just folded it over like that. This is more Christmas paper. And the only thing I've done with these is I've done a little bit of stenciling. So you can see here I've done stenciling here. Otherwise I've left it quite open for mainly writing in. So like you could use it for like a to-do list or a shopping list, or gifts that you have to get and where you could get them and that sort of thing. And the list of people that you have to get gifts for. So things like that. Or maybe you might be planning your Christmas dinner, so you do your shopping list for your Christmas dinner and that sort of thing. So this is tea-dyed paper. Then this is ordinary white copier paper, and I have decoupaged it with Christmas napkin. So a little stencil there. This is stenciled, I don't know if you can see that. So see, it's all little stencils of a snowflake. This is lined paper, which is tea-dyed. This is red copier paper. This is marbled paper that I had a stash of that I think I'm nearly finished now at this stage, and I stenciled Merry Christmas there. Then you have some vellum paper, some scrapbooking paper, some lined tea-dyed paper, some patterned paper and a stencil here, the bottom of that, and I have a little stencil up here as well. Oh, it just came over on the side, which is quite nice too. And then I have to get that open. Oh, it's stuck. So that's tea dyed as well. This is the other side of the Christmas paper, which is on both sides, patterned on both sides. Then you have what we used to call a sum copy or a graph copy. Then in the middle of each notebook, I have the middle page is just for if you wanted to colour something in it. So this is kind of like a doodle page where you can colour in a little bit. If you were on the bus or something like that, you could, or waiting for somebody, you just colour it in. So then you go backwards, you have the copy paper, you have the Christmas paper on both sides. Then you have tea dyed with some stenciling, and actually the stenciling was done this side, and this comes through this side, which I really like. A little bit of stenciling here on the patterned paper. Then you have the tea dyed lined paper, little stencil up here, Merry Christmas. On the scrapbooking paper, then you have vellum paper. This is the marbled paper again, a red copier paper. tea dyed lined paper, and then you have your decoupage napkin. Oops, sorry. Open this. This is tea dyed paper. Then you have Christmas paper. It's almost like card with your stencil. Then your Christmas paper on both sides. And then in the last bit, you see you have this little flap here. And what I did, so just in the end here, then we have this little flap. And what I've done is I've taken a whole load of little pieces of paper. They're like scrap paper, and they're all tea dyed. And I just stapled them on there. So they're great for just taking notes, and you can maybe stick them in your journal, or maybe stick them into a Christmas journal, whatever you like. So that's basically it. So you can, you can close that with that in the front, or you can tuck it in the back there. It's totally up to you. So I'll just push it in the front, and then it's all tied together with this little ribbon. And I tend to put it above the charm, and just tie it in a little bow. And that's the first one. I can do that in a few minutes. Okay, so the second one has a red bow again. Beautiful picture. And I just stuck this on the back of it because the back of it wasn't very nice. And this time I put the charm up the top. So I thought that was quite nice. Again, you open it up, and this one has a shorter fold out piece. So again, it has a whole load of different papers. You open it out. Christmas paper, tea dyed with a stencil, some more tea dyed with another stencil, patterned paper, tea dyed lined paper. This is the Christmas paper with the fold out. This is red copier paper and a stencil here. The graph paper, some vellum paper, and then some scrapbooking paper with the stencil on the back. You have tea dyed again, and this time what I did was on red copier paper I put some napkin, so decoupage some napkin on it. Stencil there, red. This is lined copy paper, tea dyed. Then you have some more double-sided Christmas paper. Then you have your big stencil there, and then you have your page in the middle where you can colour. And then you're doing the backwards. You have the double-sided Christmas paper, then you have tea dyed paper, then you have the copier paper with the decoupage on it, tea dyed with some stenciling, on the back of some scrapbook paper, some vellum paper, then your graph paper again, and I have stenciled on the side of it, your red copier paper, your double-sided Christmas paper. This is lined tea dyed paper with your stencil on it. This is patterned paper with the stencil on it as well. Tea dyed with a little stencil down the bottom here and here. And then this is more tea dyed with the stencil up on the very top. And then you have your patterned paper here as well. And that's that one. So I'll just close that. And then you have your lovely ribbon for that one. So that's number 2. This one then, and I love making these because they're just so handy, because they fit in your purse or your bag. So again, this I didn't need to cover the back of it. This is beautiful. But what I did was I put some glue on it, because you have in these you normally have a little cutout. I don't know if you can see it there. See, this little cutout. So what I do is I just put a little bit of glue on the back of it. So this one, what I did on the inside was I put some lovely wrapping paper. That was from it's what you call Cookie Monster, Ernie and Bert. So I used to love that as a child, when my kids were young as well. So anyhow, you have the double-sided Christmas paper, you have the stencil, tea dyed, you have the decoupage on paper, then you have some Christmas wrapping paper, tea dye paper, double-sided Christmas paper, some graph paper, vellum paper, and scrapbooking paper with stencil. You have lined copier paper, and this one has some tracing paper, greaseproof paper, and some more graph paper, patterned paper, a little stencil there on the side, tea dyed copier paper. Then you have the inside of this one is a little colouring, and then you have your stencil there, another colouring page, and then the same on the back. So tea dyed, pattern, graph, and all the graph papers and are tea dyed as well. Lined paper, then you have your stencil down here, and you have scrapbook paper, your vellum paper, graph paper, double-sided Christmas paper, the stenciled tea dyed paper, that is Christmas wrapping paper, and your decoupage paper, and your stenciled tea dyed paper, double-sided Christmas paper, and then you have your little tear-offs here. Okay, so that's that. And in that one I put a little piece of lace here, or a trim I should say. So, and that's the ribbon that comes with that one. So that's 3. Now this is the number 4. I won't do any more, but what I'll do is I'll take a photo of each one, the outside of it, cover, and I'll put it up in my Shopify shop. Here's a mouthful, and then you can choose which one you want. But basically they're all the same. So you have your charm here on the top of your the sewing. You have your flip out. Oh, this is a Cookie Monster one as well. Sesame Street, isn't that what it was? So you have your double-sided Christmas paper, your tea dyed with stencil, another double-sided Christmas paper, tea dyed lined paper, scrapbooking paper with a stencil, graph paper. Then you have just patterned paper, stencils everywhere. Your double-sided Christmas paper that I folded in half, or folded over, so you could stick that and make a little pocket out of it. So then you have your tea dyed, your decoupage, your graph paper, vellum paper, scrapbooking paper, and then your center colouring page. And then it just goes back the same way again. I won't go through it, I'll just flick through it. But as I say, these are great for especially list making, but I mean you could use it for anything that you want. So again, if you enjoyed watching this video, and thank you so much for watching it, go to my Shopify shop. These are for sale there, and I also have some 1 signature journals and some 2 signature journals, all handmade, that are for sale as well. So thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up and hit that notification bell, and see you again. Bye.